This is the summary of Act 4 of Bernard Shaw's PYGMALION. Let us get this started with right now. Now, Act 4 of PYGMALION shows us the after effects of the experiment. Now, the experiment is finally over. It's been 6 months, and Eliza is finally a lady, or at least the equivalent of a lady as you could get. And with that in mind, our protagonists, who are Mr. Higgins and Mr. Pickering, they go ahead and finally realize that, well, now that this experiment is over, they have literally nothing to do with the girl, and so they have to think about what they have to do with that girl at all. So what do they do instead? This is what they do. They just start talking about Eliza as if she is not there. In fact, when Higgins goes ahead and complains that his slippers are missing, she goes ahead, finds his slippers, and puts them on the ground silently. And then when she goes there, Higgins finally notices that the slippers are there, and is like, "By golly, it must be magic! Magic, I tell you, magic!" Something like that, on the lines of that. And with that in mind, of course, they go ahead and keep ignoring Miss Doolittle. Now, because they started ignoring Miss Doolittle, she's starting to get a little weirded out. And then they go ahead and finally say that, "Hey, the experiment is finally over. Over, yeah. The last few months were kind of boring, weren't they?" They go ahead and keep saying that. And then they just go ahead and act as if she's not there. Act as if like they don't care what will happen to her. All those kinds of things. This does not go well with Eliza, obviously, and Eliza goes ahead and starts getting enraged as she goes ahead, flips up, takes the slippers, and emotional damage Stephen He style, throws it at Mr. Higgins. This obviously surprises him as much, thinking that, "Hey, what the hell are you doing to my slippers?" And Pickering obviously is shocked that Eliza would do something so unladylike now. But Eliza goes ahead and starts confronting them about why the heck they would go ahead and talk about all of this in a different idea. Why they would go ahead and act as if she was not there and cast her outside. And then tells her what the heck was she supposed to do right now since that this experiment of theirs is over. Now, Higgins obviously is very, very, not offended, but very, very mad about this. And goes ahead and is like, he goes ahead and complains and screams and everything like that. And then talks and offends her a little bit, saying that she was nothing more than a little puppet or something like that to him, and that now the experiment is over, he is glad that it is over, since that he was able to get rid of such an insolent woman. And then she keeps asking, and then eventually Pickering goes ahead and mentions that she could just go ahead and open that flower shop she said she wanted always to open, and she could also get married, both of which she eventually does actually. And our Eliza goes all full out brutal, and she goes ahead and asks if the clothes that she were wearing right now were hers or Higgins. What she's trying to say is, if she leaves the house right now, would she be accused of stealing these clothes? And then Higgins is all like, "Of course they're yours," and things like that, and gets offended, which rarely happens. She goes ahead and throws away the ring that Higgins has bought her. Like a week ago or something like that, a few minutes ago or a week ago, like sometime then. And then he goes ahead and casts it off into the fire. Now, when Higgins finally leaves the room, we call up Pickering, she goes ahead and picks the ring back up, only to put it back on the dessert table. And then she goes ahead, promptly goes to get her stuff, and then she left in the middle of the night with the belongings that she could carry. Where did she go? We'll find out next time. So that essentially is the summary of Bernard Shaw's PYGMALION Act 4. I hope to see you guys soon. Until next time, Shihana, peace. Bye-bye.